Hey there, welcome back to another Dan's Tuesday tip of the week. I am Dan Prince here, First Home Mortgage, here to bring you, I keep smacking the table, here to bring you a weekly tip to help you capture and close more business. Now, this week we're going to be talking about rate shoppers because I haven't had much of a problem with this over the last couple months, actually. It was a real problem back when, I don't know, like maybe last fall, when people were really price sensitive. The DTIs were really tight. But lately, over the last 3 to 6 months, like it hasn't been as aggressive as it had in the past, and especially before that. But I was talking to my first person, maybe like this past weekend sometime. So, and they were just all about the rate. And before, when you would hear it a lot, an agent would talk to somebody and they would just be like, well, I'm waiting for the rates, or I don't like the rates, or the rates are too high, or whatever. They're, waiting for that whole, like we've heard it 1,000 times, they're waiting for the 2 and 3%. Okay, like, come on, dude, get out of the rock that you're living under. Like, come on. So today we're going to be talking a little bit about two sides of the coin. So one is the lending piece, so that if you do encounter this, you can have the knowledge and the like just in the back of your mind, like tools in the toolbox to confront this rebuttal. And then if you are looking for like the sales piece of it, like kind of how to pitch it, then we need to get together because I have gone through numerous coaching sessions. I do my own research on it just because I find it fascinating how to like confront that. And then on the other end of it, the way that you can if you get a lead and that's how they are coming at you, then you need to be armed with a pitch and certain trigger phrases to help. So we'll kind of touch into that, but otherwise, let's get together. Let's do you can call me on the phone and we'll do like a role play type thing, or you can go get coffee and just kind of, talk about it over coffee, like in person, because it's different. But to the lending piece, let's talk about that first. I keep smacking this table and I'm sorry if it's super shaky. So first thing we can do is, I talked about this in the last, not the last one or the one before that, I can't recall exactly, but the layering piece to lending, where a lot of what we have to offer is umbrellaed and can be layered through different programs. So while a conventional loan is a conventional 30-year fixed loan, there's different pieces and programs and layers that we can, kind of do to confront that. So let's say I'm looking for a conventional loan, but the rates are just so high on a conventional loan. It's like, okay, well, there's a home ready option. First Home has our Dream program, which is a grant that we use for conventional loans, where I use it for paying points, right? It's for closing costs. So why would we not? When someone's coming at you with rate shopping and their rebuttal is the rates are too high, blah, 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 too much. Well, how about we just pay down your rate for free? It sounds great to someone who's shopping or who's, it's an immediate solution to the rebuttal and the wall that they're throwing up, right? So then let's talk about the state program. So while the same kind of aspect of like MMP or Virginia housing or North Carolina housing, wherever, there are different layers to each of those. So we'll talk about MMP since we're here in Maryland. MMP has different umbrellas as well, so that if you were to scale it up or down, you can negotiate rates and look, well, you can't negotiate rates, but you can negotiate like what the rate is depending on what the client is looking for, which can then alleviate them from the rate problem, because if their rate it's usually like a trade-off between the closing costs, the monthly, and then the, interest rate problem, right? All of that. They will usually feel a whole lot better knowing that they aren't having to come out of pocket all of this money with assistance. And the rate is fixed. So regardless of what happens in the market, the rate is what the rate is, and we can't negotiate it, whether it's First Home or pick another lender. It's all, it's all, anybody can look it up and it's all in the same, we all follow the same rules type thing. So another piece to it that I think is still kind of in the game. Like it was a fad, and I've talked about it before, but like the 2-1 buy downs, the buy down programs are still a viable option. If you are looking at a home and they're needing closing help, or maybe not needing closing help, sorry, they are looking for closing help because they are looking to pay points to get the rate down. Let's say the seller is dropping the price by 10 grand to just attract more people. As a buyer, let's go in and negotiate. Hey, let's say 5 grand for a 1-0 buy down. Not every lender has a 1-0 buy down, but First Home does. So a 1-0 buy down, right, on a 6% right now, it's an entire point for half the cost that the seller was originally considering. Both are happy and the deal's done and we all get paid, right? Which is the goal. So I could sit here and go on and on and on about what other options are available. Those are just some main ones that come to mind. And something that you can have in your toolbox to confront a rebut the rebuttal, and then get sink your hooks and sink your claws into a lead and really say like, no, like I am your agent because I have this knowledge provided by me. But it'll arm you with the tools that you need. So if you're doing open houses, doing an event, talking to somebody at the grocery store, shooting the shit at a bar, and someone just says, hey, the rates are they're too much. We can't wait for them to get back down into the 2%. It's like, no, here's your options. Anyways, now talking about the sales piece to it, again, I think it would be best to do like a one-on-one thing. I think it would be a lot of fun personally as salespeople, bouncing off ideas, sharpening the iron, skills that I learned, skills that you have. They might mesh. They might even learn something from each other, right? Well, I mean, that's the goal. But the point is, I'm not going to go too much into that because then this will be like a 40-minute long video. And that's not the goal here. It's just a quick tip. But a good way to like pitch it over the phone or in person, outside of just saying, go talk to your lender. Advertised rates are just that. They're advertised rates for a very specific characteristic. That buyer probably has an amazing credit score, a bajillion dollars in the bank, and this is exactly what they could potentially get with these fine printed terms. Here you go. That isn't for everybody. Obviously, everybody's financial profile is more detailed than anybody else's because it's, they don't have the same job. They don't have the same this. They don't have the same that. So it's all different. And when you're, I think, going to break this down in 2 ways. One, if they're really just going to completely write you off and everything as in the value, all the value that you bring, all of the services and the reason that you are getting paid, if they're completely writing that off, at the end of the day, I think it's important to really like, is it worth it? Are they going to be, is the juice worth the squeeze type thing? That client might not really be worth the headache. You're going to be running around. They're going to be a real pain in your butt, demanding. If you have a family, that's not always viable. So don't get too stuck. In this market, it's tough to let somebody go, but it might be worth your mental health. It might be worth your sanity to let them have their opinion. But for those who you think that you can really work on and think that it would be a great client, they're taking the human. I'm sorry, I keep just like elbows are like smacking. What they're doing is they're taking the human part out of the value that you bring, and where you as a salesperson can come in and put it right back is by then making them feel special. Your financial profile, everything that you have going on is special. It's special to you and it's special to the lender, and it's special to when you're looking at rates, each person is different. There might be options available for you that aren't available for the average Joe. It might be true, might not be true, but they don't know that. Your job then is to bring that back, bring that human aspect of what we do in our business that provides the value that we actually bring back into the conversation. I'm just going to hold my finger on the tripod here. It brings the human part back to it, which humans, like humans, they buy from humans. They don't want to be fed just some. If they want an answer, you can Google rates and pick a number, but we're not calculators. That's not what we do. It's not why we get paid. So don't give up on the rebuttals. Have your arsenal in your bag, the tools in the toolbox. Let me know if you'd like to get together and like mastermind some kind of sales talk, rebuttal talk. I'm happy to do it. I'm happy to help. And have a great rest of your week. Thanks.